Bonjour, mi amigos. My name is Mike Tyson. Welcome back to a brand new Nerf War video. I think that today we will be playing Mineplex Story Mode. I bet you didn't even know that existed. The main goal of Mineplex Story Mode is to recollect all your past stories from your childrenhood and tell them to a bunch of losers on the internet while playing Mineplex. Let's start when I was in kindergarten. So during playtime, there are a bunch of groups doing different things around the class. The sweaty boys raced each other with the puzzles that had about 4 pieces each. The losers and I played at the sandbox. A bunch of ugly people sat at a table cutting paper and getting glue everywhere. And then something people Legos happened. Some idiots, I forget what. Anyway, I was at the sandbox and I was incredibly disappointed because the sand was drier than a drying machine. You couldn't even make a sandcastle with it. I don't even remember what I could do, what I was doing with the sand because it was so useless. Anyway, there are like always 500 people at the sandbox, so I'm like, this town ain't big enough for a lot of us. And so I tried to evict people because I was a jerk that way, and the conversation went like, I was here first. No, I was. No, it was me. Yada yada. And so we decided who would stay by who made the scarier noise. So the girl I was trying to evict made this awful screaming noise. I don't know why the teacher didn't do anything. I made this really amazing gurgling throat sound with the phlegm and all. It was disgusting. We were just like, my noise was scarier than yours, I win. But none of us left. Some time later, I decided to just get this painting cup. I filled it with water and I sneaked back over to the sandbox to get it wet enough to make a sandcastle at least. It didn't work that well because the sandbox just leaked water, but I didn't get caught, so good enough I think. In grade 1, my teacher was doing the most basic math in the world with us. She's like, if you have 1 bead and I have 1 bead, how many beads are there all together? And people are just like, I think there's enough beads to make a necklace, that's for sure. Or, there's 1 bead, and there's another bead, that's how many. And it's no wonder now that the grade 9 average in math is 43%. But we're just getting off track a little. What I was trying to say is, my teacher asks, does anyone have a math question they want to share? And I toss one out there, right? I say, 9 plus 8. And you know what she tells me? She says, nah, that one's too hard. Can you think of an easier one? Like, are you kidding me? I didn't believe it. Anyway, if you actually want to know the answer, it's 15. Also in grade 1, there was this tall girl who came into our class in like December, and she was vegan. Now, this was 2007, not 2016, so people weren't like reverse triggered by veganism. You weren't crucified if you said you were a vegan in 2007. Anyway, I thought it was like the coolest thing, her being a vegan, because I never met a vegan before, except my mom, but that was before she had us and she had a but that's another story. So whenever a substitute teacher was there, I would raise my hand and she was like, oh, do you have a question, young sir? I pointed to the vegan girl and said, this girl is a vegan. When I was in kindergarten, for like the first week, I was terrified of everything. I thought the teachers would be like the scariest people in the world, and actually they are. I really missed me mum. All the other students were ugly as hell, so I cried for like the first whole week. And then the first day, we were given this sheet of paper. It was a worm that said something like, hi, my name is blank, and you were supposed to put your name and color the worm. But I was too busy crying, so I wasted about half of the work time. And so the ugly guy beside me notices. He says, I have a brother who didn't do his work, and then he had to stay in kindergarten for 50 years. And so that scared the hell out of me, man. I took a brown crayon, I scribbled all over the paper until it was like fully colored. And that's the success story of a current 12.0 GPA. I'm in university now, so if you just do what I do in kindergarten, you are sure to be a Harvard graduate with your master's. Another grade 1 adventure I had, we were supposed to write a story about 2 animals who solve a problem or something. In my story, I had a giraffe and an elephant, and they're in Africa, I think. They're separated by this giant gap in the floor, like a ravine. It was caused by an earthquake. They're like, man, we're in love and we can't get to each other. How's it gonna work? I never done long distance relationships. And the giraffe says, hey friend, let's just jump into the ravine. And the elephant goes, nah, we're gonna break our necks. And the giraffe responds, but there's leaves down there to break our fall. And the elephant's like, okay. So they jump down and they just have a good time for the rest of their life. And the teacher's like, wow, your writing is amazing. Great work. I am applying you for a special writing program meant for the best people in the world. That was so stupid, I swear to God. In grade 4, I had this really bad washroom anxiety problem. I was always thinking I had to go to the washroom when I really didn't, so I was just psyching myself out all the time. But the teachers, they were so scary, I did not want to ask them if I could go so many times. And they'd be like, oh man, he is a skipper dipper, he's cutting the class. So I tried really hard to hold it. No, this story doesn't end with me peeing my pants. Anyway, on bad days, I was going like 4 times a day, and that's when it got scary, because I thought the teachers were gonna like expel me from school. So, one day, it was a bad day, I'd already gone 3 times. I half jokingly, half seriously asked my friend to ask the teacher if I could go to the washroom, and they actually did it. I was like, no, but I was also like, yes! And the teacher let me go to the washroom, so she wasn't as scary as I thought. Now see, here's a recent one. In grade 9, which was like just this year, I was in French class, and you know French class, it's stupid as all hell. Anyway, we had to put on this play. There were like 5 groups, and we all had to put on the same stupid play she assigned us. Basically, the play goes, this guy Pierre, he's going to this school dance with Sylvie, but Pierre is mean, so he's mean to Sylvie, and instead Sylvie goes to the dance alone like a loser. And then she finds Ray-Jean, the nice guy, who liked Sylvie since a long time, according to that translation. Ray-Jean is at the dance, he's singing and dancing on stage, and he wins the prize. Sylvie becomes very infatuated with Ray-Jean, so they end up marrying happily ever after, whatever. Pierre comes in, and he's super pissed at Ray-Jean. He's really pissed. He tries to punch Ray-Jean, but he misses and falls to the ground. He starts crying. The end. Great play, right? Anyway, I had to be Sylvie in the play. Yeah, you know me, I'm a great female actor, so I just decided I'm gonna basically ruin the entire play. I was already getting like 96% and I was sick of the crappy class, so I dressed up as a girl, I put on some lipstick, I got a wig, and when I performed the play, I talked in this really stupid high voice. Everyone was dying. The teacher was like, oh man, that's some effort right there. The thing is though, at one point, the whole group has to do this really stupid dance. We have to choreograph it ourselves. I don't know how she expected us to do that. It is so stupid. Our Ray-Jean was supposed to sing. He didn't even know the words, so we lost marks as our dancing sucked. That pissed me off.